Hi, welcome back to eRoll Battery. Thank you for coming over and watching one more of our video. Today we're replacing these two batteries. This is the starting battery and the accelerator battery. This is a 2024 Chrysler Pacifica and it's a similar battery replacement for the Jeep Compact. Just a quick pointer, both of the battery are AGM and both of the battery was put in at the same time, so both of the batteries are supposed to be replaced at the same time. Here we're going to begin by removing this air band. We're going to move this wire out of the way. And the issue here with the battery is that they didn't replace the OS battery, so it burned the starting battery. We're going to remove these three bolts that's holding this bracket in front of the battery. And it's a 10 millimeter, so we're using a 10 millimeter socket with extension cord to remove this bolt. We're going to leave it there halfway, then we're going to remove the other two. Just break them loose and be careful that you don't drop it. And we're going to retrieve it with our hand, and then we're going to work the other bolt out. Okay, once we retrieve the second bolt, now we're going to move on to the one in the front. Okay, we're going to work that one out little by little. Once the bolt is out, we're just going to pull out the bracket, and it's going to come out here out of this plastic and put it here to the side. All right, now we're going to disconnect this negative terminal, and we are going to use a 10 millimeter. And using a screwdriver, we're just going to open up the negative poles, so it'll be easier to take it apart or take it out of the way. Okay, we're going to tuck it here to the side so it doesn't touch. We're going to open this red cover, and here we have the positive terminal. We're going to use a 10 millimeter socket. And we're going to loosen these two wires. They are 10 millimeter as well. We're just going to try to loosen it and being really careful that we don't drop the nuts to the side. And we're going to retrieve it with our finger. Put it here on the side. Then disconnect the two wire. It's going to say B and C. So we're going to disconnect B and C. Now we're just going to try to lose the terminal out of the way so we can retrieve the battery out. Close the cover. That will give you more space, and just lean it back there. And now we're going to take away the hold down this in the bottom of the battery in the middle. That one is a 10 millimeter as well. That's why we're using the extension with a 10 millimeter socket, so we don't touch anything and make a short circuit. So here we can retrieve the 10 millimeter, and we're going to put it here to the side. And now we're going to pick up the actual hold down, the plastic hold down. Here we go. And we're going to put it on the side too, so we don't lose it. Out of the way. And now we can just move the battery. Trying to move it out of the way. And then once the battery is out of the tray, we're just going to pull it up straight and being careful with the wire so it doesn't get tangled. And we're going to put the battery here to the side. Pull all the wires out of the way. And if you can, we can clean the bottom here of the tray. They usually have some leaves or debris. And then we're going to tuck this to the side so we can see the oscillator battery. And it has here a 10mm bolt with a strap that's actually hold the battery together. As you can see here, the last person to install it didn't tighten it all the way down. So we're going to use the extension with the 10mm socket to retrieve the 10mm bolt with our hand so we don't drop it, and move the strap out of the way. All right, now we're going to put the bolt on the side. Here we go. And now we're going to disconnect the negative. Always on all the battery, you always disconnect the negative first. And it's backwards when you're connecting it. Positive, then negative. All right, we're going to take away this wire, put it here on the side so it doesn't touch anything. And now we're going to disconnect the positive terminal with a 10mm. All right. Now we're going to retrieve the nut out of the way. And then this one, we're just gonna try to move it and jiggle it across because it's kind of like it's tight in there. So you just force it a little bit and eventually it'll give up. All right, we're just gonna close it and put it here to the side. And now we're just gonna grab the OS battery out. All right, we're gonna place it here so you can see both of them here. And the starting battery was a regular battery. It's supposed to be a AGM battery. All right, now we're going to take this cover out of the way. We are in Florida, so we don't need no insulation. Here we have the two oscillator batteries side by side. We're going to take out this negative pole out of it. I'm using a 5mm socket. All right, and just take that one out, and then we're going to go to the next one. Again, we are using a 5mm socket. All right, put the two posts on the sides. You can see that's where they go, and they usually halfway in. This is how long they are. We're gonna put that one to the side. That's the old one. Take out this positive cap out of the way, and then we're gonna do it first by hand so you don't strip them. All right, that's the negative, and this is the positive. All right, as you can see, we're gonna go halfway. You will see the difference right there, halfway there. And at first we're just gonna put it by hand, and then now we're gonna tighten it with a wrench all the way halfway, and you can feel it, it'll get tighter. At first it's gonna be soft, and then once you are like halfway to the bolt, it's gonna get tighter. This band was sitting here for a couple of months, around 2 months. As you can see, you know, there's little squirrel nets. We created a guide to help you out when your car is going to sit. This guide will help you to register the car battery, as well as video. They can show you the step that you have to take step by step on how to prepare your car to sit for a while. Check the link below and you can get our full member guide or how to set up, and a lot of info that will help you out. It's the same info that I use when I'm going to set up a car that's going to be sitting all summer long. All right, now that we clean the space a bit, we're going to install the oscillator battery. As you can see here, the oscillator battery already had the poles on the positive and negative. Now we're going to connect the positive wire. Just we're going to align it, and then little by little we just want to work it all the way down to the bottom until it touches the base. As you can see, all the way down like this. Now we're going to put in the 10mm nut. All right, here's the 10mm nut, and we're going to work it with our finger until it's straightened in. And now we're going to use the 10mm socket to tighten it all the way down. Like I said before, always connect the positive first and all the battery. All right, now we're gonna put the strap on top of it. Just move that piece out of the way, and we're gonna put the hold down or the oscillator battery. It's a strap, and at the bottom is going to have a 10mm bolt. All right, we're going to adjust the 10mm bolt with our finger until it's on place. Then we're going to use the 10mm socket. This is the fresh battery. We're going to try to put it in place. Once you put the battery in place, we're going to connect the positive terminal on top of it. We're going to retrieve the wire from the back, both of them, and try to guide it in place where they were before. Yep, if you can see there's a piece that go right in there, and then the other one got like 2 clips on the side. That one go on the first part. We're going to put in a negative cap on it just in case the terminal move and touch the negative pole. We don't have a short circuit. All right, we're going to tighten everything down, and then we're going to push it back, put the battery in place. Now we're going to tighten the positive terminal with a 10mm socket, and we're going to put in the 10mm nuts on top of those 2 wires by hand at first, and then we're going to connect the negative terminal on the oscillator battery and put it nuts on top of it, and then we're going to tie it with a 10mm. We're going to proceed by putting on the negative terminal and try to push it down all the way down. Now we're going to tighten it with a 10mm until it closes. Now we're going to move into the middle hold down of the battery. First we're going to install the plastic, and then we're going to align it so we can install the bolt right in the middle. We are going to tighten it using the 10mm with a tension. Here we're going fishing. I dropped the 10mm socket, so I have this mounted and we're gonna go for it. I have lost many 10mm socket like this, so it's always good to have one of these handy, because there's a panel in the bottom. They usually fall right there in the panel, and it's hard to get them. The only way you're gonna retrieve them is actually by moving that panel. As you can see, here you go. Now we're gonna install the bar that go here in front of the battery. It's the one that has the 3 10mm bolts. We're going to align it at first, and to get it aligned, we're just gonna align this piece of plastic here together. This is gonna hold the bar together so we can align all 3 holes for the 10mm bolts. Once you get it aligned, we're gonna tighten it by hand, and then we're gonna tighten the other 2 by hand, and then we're gonna tighten it with a 10mm socket all the way down. All right, once you get it tightened all the way down, then we're going to jump to the one in the front. All right, we are done with this install. So as you can see, it was a mechanic that installed the original battery, and that mechanic forgot to put in an AGM battery and replace the OS battery. We have a lot of info that will help you out by using our guide. Become a member and get all the perks that we have for you guys. Thank you for coming over and watching one more of our video. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and if you have any question, please ask. We are here to answer it.